Hi there. In this video series, I will be learning PHP MVC pattern. I know there are a lot of robust PHP frameworks out there that have implemented it all, but I just want to grasp how all these are structured under the hood. One thing to point out is this. I have done a lot of background research before I decided to do these videos. Doing these videos will help me really digest it. MVC stands for Model, View, and Controller. It separates code that does things from code that displays things. I will be doing it step by step. I will talk about why Mvc pattern is recommended. I will set up my environment to develop on. I will then start with Mvc pattern itself, where I will create the controllers and router, add actions to the controllers, automatically load classes, organize classes using namespaces, include views and template engine. I will be using Blade, secure the site from cross-site scripting attacks, manage third-party code with Composer, create model files, which deals with data and work with PHP data library, configure the application and error handling. I will also customize it. Now, why is PHP MVC pattern recommended? Normally, when I start coding in PHP, in the root folder, I will have the index file, the articles file, single article file, and so on. I will also create admin folder if I want to include admin area in the application. And in the admin folder, I will create user.php file, add user.php file, edit user.php file, add article.php file, and so on. This is how the structure grows really bad, and it's a very bad practice. It leads to complicated structure, very difficult to understand and difficult to work with. This is where Mvc Framework comes in. Mvc Framework solves these issues. It is a library of code that brings structure to an application. It is more secure and easy to work with. I will start defining the folder structure and start doing the configuration. First, I will create an app folder where all the logic will live. And inside the app folder, I will have other folders to work with, like the controllers folder. We'll create that. Also create models folder. We also have classes folder. That will be helper classes for the application. Then create config folder where all the configuration will live. Create functions folder where the functions helper files will live. Also create router folder. This will be used to control the request that comes into the application. Good. We close the file and in the root folder we create a public folder which is accessible to the outside world. Public folder. That is the best advantage of using Mvc Framework, because no other request goes to any part of the application. They will first come into the folder, hit the index file, and the index file will direct all requests to different part of the application. So the next folder will be resources, where the views to display to the user will live. Resources. And inside the resources, well, first of all, let me create the main root folders. Then I will create a logs folder where to store all the logs or the error logs that happen in the application. So I think these are the files I need for the moment. These are the files I need for the moment. Correct. Or let me create another folder that will be used to initialize the application. That means a logic to boot up the application will live inside this folder. I will call it app. I will call it app init. Okay. Now let me go into the public folder and create an images folder. This is where the images will live. Then inside the public folder, I would like to have the index file. This is the file that will be redirecting all requests to different part of the application. Correct. Just to demonstrate it later, I will just get the information of the environment here. PHP info. Correct. Then in resources folder, I would like to create the folders that are necessary, which is views, this is where the HTML files will live. Then I will create assets folder. In the assets folder, I would like to create some other folders like JS folder, CSS folder, and SAS folder. Fine. In the root directory, I would also like to create vendor, but it's optional. I will leave it. I will pull it in with Composer. So, but first of all, let me go into the init app init and create a cache folder. I would like to cache most of the requests from time to time. Call it cache. I think I have everything I need to start with. And but the next thing for me to do is to set up my server environment so that when I call the application from the URL, it should hit the public folder, not other folders, or not the root directory. That is what I will do, and it's optional. You can also leave it and just refer it in the browser, but I think to make it a little bit professional, I would like to create a virtual host for the application. This one I will do, then we come back. So I'm doing it in the background. So I've done it, and so if I now go to my browser, then then this is what I get. Then I created this URL. Then this is my environment, and I can start working on my on the framework. I will continue this step in the next video. Please stay tuned, and yeah, just trying to learn too. Okay, have a nice day.